welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby if you are new here. Today I'm really excited to bring to you a new video because it has been a while since I've posted a video and I'm sorry about that. But today I'm really excited because I am going to be talking about the new Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on the product, how it wears all day, my favorite ways to apply it, and then I also am going to give you guys a little demo of it being applied so you can just see how it goes on. Let you guys know all the details that I found on this foundation. So if you guys are interested in finding out about this foundation, then just keep watching. Okay, so I think that we should first start off by the packaging because this bottle is absolutely beautiful. This is what drew me to this foundation to try it out. I think that it just looks really a little bit more high-end than a normal drugstore foundation. I do love this clear top cap lid thing, but I do find that it gets really dirty really fast. I obviously cleaned it off for this video, but I do find that like if you are not carefully wiping your pump every single day and sticking the lid on, you can see foundation in there, which is just not very cute, but the whole packaging is cute. Another thing is obviously this pump. It is one of my favorite things in a foundation. If it has a pump, I just find that they last a lot longer because they are being exposed to air and you obviously know exactly how much product you're using. It's just really sanitary to pump it out. I just love a pump on my foundation. So that is one really good thing about this product. I think it's beautifully packaged. It does have a 1 fluid ounce in it, which is awesome. It's a pretty normal standard size foundation, but some foundations even have less than 1 ounce. So it's nice that you get a lot of product in here. I picked up my foundation in the shade Classic Ivory, which I believe is the second to lightest shade in the bunch. You can see that I'm not overly tan right now. This is totally natural. I have no self-tanner on, and this shade is a little bit dark for me. But I do think that the shades in this line run dark, and on top of that, I do find that it oxidizes a little bit. I would say like 1, maybe 2 shades it oxidizes, which is really something I hate in a foundation. So one of the claims is that it is very lightweight. I do really find that it is super lightweight. I don't feel it on my face at all. I don't feel cakey. I don't think it looks overly cakey at all either. So that is something I would definitely agree with. It does say it is also a full coverage foundation. That is something I definitely would not agree with. Right now I do have it on just 1 layer, but if you look carefully right around here, I'll zoom you guys in. I have a little bit of a breakout and you can still see that coming through, and I also applied concealer. I don't know why my breakouts are never covered fully, but I would just not say that this is full coverage. It is more on the medium to fuller coverage, so it does provide a good amount of coverage, but I would just definitely not say it's completely full coverage. It also says that it is a very hydrating foundation, and I would agree with that. It doesn't really stick to dry patches, which is huge for me because I do have dry skin. I just think that it really lays beautifully over the dry patches and it doesn't feel tight or cakey or just gross throughout the day. So I like that aspect of it a lot. And it is an oil-free foundation. So whenever I was reading about this foundation, it doesn't say what the finish of the foundation is online. It does say that it's full coverage and hydrating. So therefore, usually whenever it is hydrating, it is a little bit more of a dewier finish. I would agree with that in this foundation. It is definitely not matte. It's definitely somewhere between a dewy and a satin because it doesn't look like there's still water on your face dewy, but it is a little bit more satin once it sets down. It does set down and is still tacky on the face. Even now, I usually set my T-zone area, but I leave my cheeks completely bare of powder, and it is still a little bit sticky, but it's not too bad, and I don't find that it like transfers onto my fingers, which is a big thing for me. So I can live with it, and I personally like more dewy satin finished foundations on me just because I think that it does make your skin look healthier, and I think that's also what they were going for in this foundation. So I'm not mad about that, but I want to let you guys know that this is not going to be a matte foundation if you're into that. I'm sorry, this one is definitely more dewy satin finish. So this foundation also wears all day long on me. I can literally apply it at 8 a.m., take it off around 10 or 11 at night, and it still looks reasonably good. I do find that it does crease a little bit, but that kind of typically happens to me with any foundations, so that's not an X in my book, and it definitely creases a lot less than some foundation I've tried. So that's not a deal breaker for me with this foundation at all. It's definitely not horrible creasing, but it does do minimal creasing. But at the end of the day, it doesn't break down. There's no oils coming through. It doesn't look patchy on my T-zone area or anything like that. So it lasts a really long time on me, and I love that aspect of it. You can see that right now. I just think it looks so healthy on the skin, and obviously that's what it claims to do. So I would agree with that claim that it just looks healthy and vibrant. You look radiant and just smooth and soft. So just to really fast recap this foundation, I think it is light wearing. I love that it has SPF in it and vitamins and antioxidants. I love that aspect of it. It doesn't crease too much. It does oxidize a tiny bit in color, about 1 shade to 2 shades maybe in color once it goes on for a few hours, but I don't find that it continues to oxidize throughout the day. So by the end of the day, you're not more tan than you were 30 minutes after applying it. So it does oxidize it, not continually throughout the day. It does definitely run a little bit darker in shade range than my other foundations, so I would definitely go up a step or 2 in your foundation whenever you're picking it out. And it is a nice, fresh, satin to dewy finish foundation, which is personally my favorite. The claim of it being a healthy, vitalizing, nutrient-rich, hydrating foundation, I would definitely agree with, and I love it. I've continued to wear it for over a week, and I have very minimal complaints. The biggest complaint is just the color and the oxidizing. So other than that, I really love this foundation. If you want to see how I apply it and if it works better with a brush or a sponge, I will let you guys know in the next clip. Just keep watching. So really fast, I wanted to zoom you guys up and show you guys as close as my camera will allow what this foundation looks like on the skin, and hopefully you guys can see all the real life pores and creasing and everything like that and get a really HD image of my skin. So let's see if you guys will be able to see that on the camera. You can really see that there's a little bit of creasing, but nothing too bad. And I just think it makes my pores look nice and smooth. Doesn't add texture to my skin. You can see a little bit of my blemish still coming through, which is why I said it's not completely full coverage. But I think everything else looks really smooth and really nice. And I would definitely recommend this foundation. I think it's really beautiful. If you are someone that has dry skin, this will look gorgeous on you. Okay, so I did go ahead and take off all my foundation so I could show you guys how this applies. I prep my skin with moisturizer and primer, and I'm gonna go in on one side of my face with a brush and then on the other side with a sponge and let you guys know how this applies. I like to put my foundation just on like a little palette like this, and I'm gonna first go in with my sponge. This is my Real Techniques sponge, which is very similar to the Beauty Blender, but it's a little bit cheaper, so that's why I like it. And this side, I guess this side, because that's the side I'm going in at, is gonna be the sponge. Okay, so that is how it went on with a sponge. This is just one layer. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. It goes on about the same with a brush, to be honest, but we are going to do the other side with the brush. The brush I'm going to be using is this Coastal Scents flat top brush. It's number 3. I love this for foundation. I just really like it. So I'm going to go in on this side with the brush. And I definitely like to stipple it on first and then go back in and lightly blend out. And this is the normal way that I do my foundation, just if you guys are curious. I also totally forgot to mention, but this foundation definitely has a scent. It smells like rose, like flowery soap or something. A little bit elderly, but also really fresh at the same time. It just kind of smells like roses. It definitely went on beautifully with both the sponge and the brush, but I actually kind of like the sponge side just like a tad bit more. I don't think that it makes that big of a difference, so if you like to apply it with a sponge, it totally is not going to matter if you like to use it with a brush. Honestly, they look just about the same. I'm going to zoom you guys up even closer and let you guys know exactly how it looks fresh going on. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks like directly going on, just one layer. This is the sponge side and the brush side. As you can see right now, it is definitely more dewy foundation, like satin dewy. You can see it looks really super dewy on the camera. Also, you can definitely see my blemish. This is exactly what I was telling you about. That's not full coverage. I'm gonna try to build up just a tiny bit right now, just because it does say it is a buildable formula. So let's try to see if we can cover that up. Okay, it did definitely build, but still not full coverage. It looks super, super almost oily right now on camera. It looks so dewy, but in real life, it looks more healthy finish than like dewy. I look a little bit oily on the camera. I don't know why that is. Maybe just the way that the light is shining in, but it definitely looks more healthy in person rather than like oily. And right here on my forehead, you can kind of still see some blemishes coming through as well. So it's definitely not a full coverage foundation, but it is a good coverage foundation. So with that being said, I think I've given you all the pros and cons. I've given you a nice demo to see how this foundation wears. It is now up to you to decide if this is a foundation you're interested in or not. Personally, I love it. I'm going to continue to wear it, continue to use it. I recommend it, but again, like I said, it's totally personal preference to whether this foundation is for you. So now you know my thoughts on this foundation. If you guys want to see more videos like this, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below what you guys want to see, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.